we're Mission Marrow. We're a student organization based in Frisco, Texas, co-founded by 4 members of high school. So I'm Neil.
I'm Sushmi.
I'm Abhi.
And I'm Piyush.
We've been working with the Ecoleta Silva Foundation to add new members to the STEM Cell Donation Registry and educate high schoolers in our area about the disparities in the STEM Cell Donation Registry and how they can get involved and help recruit new members and spread awareness. To this day, we've recruited over 450 members to the registry and educated over 7.5 million people in our state and across the country. And we've been featured on multiple news channels in our area. And we're also working with Be The Match for new programs that are coming up.
Great. I am excited. I did check out you all's website and hear your history. So it's so good to meet all of you.
So I guess we have a few questions, if you don't mind. So
Absolutely.
My first question is, can you give us 1 to 2 sentences about yourself and your role with Be The Match?
Absolutely. So my name is Erica Jensen, and I am the Senior Vice President of Member Engagement, Enrollment, and Experience. And we, of course, I'm a marketer at heart, so we affectionately call it ME3 because it has to have a cute nickname and a cute logo to put on t-shirts and whatnot. So in ME3, we're responsible for owning that entire member journey from the first time we inspire someone to join our registry with people who are out in the field like Leslie, all the way through to when they are called to donate. And then they are members, and we say, then you convert to being a donor. And then after that, you go through your donor experience and you come back to being a member. So previously, our group was called Registry Growth and Development, and it was all about the registry. But as we realize with modern marketing and how consumers interact just with all the services and businesses around them, you expect everything to be optimized and personalized. So we have to add that to our members and really give them a distinctive role in our organization. So I tell everyone that we're going from having people on a list to truly feeling like valued and connected members.
Wow, that's amazing. So my second question is, what led you to pursue a career with Be The Match?
So I spent a lot of years in the terrible, dark corporate world. None of you go there. I'm just kidding. I spent most of my career, over 20 years, working in different corporations, whether it was the services like a bank, or I spent 15 years at General Mills, which is a local organization here that sells cereal, so like Cheerios and Cocoa Puffs and Lucky Charms and Totino's Pizza Rolls. I'm trying to think of what people your age would eat. Totino's Pizza Roll, Nature Valley, Yoplait Yogurt, Hamburger Helper, just a plethora of shelf-stable foods and frozen foods in Pillsbury and refrigerated dough. And it was great. I mean, General Mills is a great organization. I learned a ton. And we talk about in marketing, you have people who are classically trained. And so it was great having that classically trained experience. But it is very different when you are selling Totino's Pizza Roll and you're trying to add purpose to your organization. You're trying to add purpose for your product. Of course, at the end of the day, it tastes good, it's yummy, and it's affordable. That's why people buy it. But all marketers and all brands now are trying to add a higher level of purpose. Sorry, my dog is barking. A higher level of purpose. And you see that in all the work coming out from like brands like Dove or Always Fight Like a Girl or all these other things. And I was looking for something that gave purpose and got called someone to join Be The Match. And it was the commitment to driving equal outcomes for all that really committed me to joining the organizations, because I had encountered lots of for-profit and nonprofit orgs over the tenure of my career, and really working to change disparities and work for underserved communities always ends up being for a specific department, or it ends up being for a time being. I call it the flavor of the month. And organizations fade and wan on how they're going to do that support. But Be The Match had made driving equal outcomes for all at the core of who the organization was. It is our vision, and it surpasses all other things that we have. And it is clear and key across all of our verticals. And so that was really inspiring and felt differential to me. And when I came here, we make decisions that aren't the best for making money, but it's the best for making sure we can serve our patient populations and drive that equality. So it's really powerful.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Well, I guess it's my turn to ask some questions.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. What does like a normal day look like for you, career-wise?
Oh dear. Wow. Okay. Before I was sitting in my basement all day, or when I was like actually allowed to be out. So I have a lot of meetings. There are about 120 folks that report under my organization, and they're split into several different areas. And we have our team here in the US, and then we also have Be the Match Mexico and Be the Match Puerto Rico that are also part of our team. So unfortunately, I spend a ton of time during the day in meetings with different folks in my organizations, partners, agencies, reviewing creative, talking about ideas, continue drive awareness and drive registrations, understanding how we're going to get additional funding for our member activities. And then the favorite part is I get to spend some of my evenings attending events, whether it is with folks like you all, or I'm doing a town hall for in Atlanta tomorrow with 7 county commissioners. We're going to get the word out about the registry, being able to attend galas or events or initiatives and activities that really support our mission.
So, past that, what goals do you have for Be the Match in the future?
Oh, I have so many. Primarily, I would really, well, okay, I'll tell you my greatest ambition. Are any of you marketing majors? Any of you? Marketing? No.
Yeah.
Come on. Breaking my heart. Okay, so as a marketer, there is this prestigious award called a Cannes Lion. So you probably heard of the Cannes Festival that happens in the south of France, and all the celebrities go, and it's a big deal. Well, after all the celebrities clear out, all the creative agencies and marketers come in, and they spend what they call the Festival of Creativity, and they review and talk about the best work, the best advertising, the best marketing that is happening in the world. And so at my greatest ambition, I would love to win a gold lion for the amazing work that is happening at Be the Match, because I feel that recognition for the connection that we can make to prospective members and our current members is so powerful. There's no other place that I can think of where you can get that one-to-one satisfaction of having saved a life by something so simple. And I know you all know that. You think people give blood, but you never, I mean, you get an email saying the blood went to this area, but you never know the patient it went to. Or if you do a lot of organ donation, unfortunately, you are no longer witnessing that, except for in the case of a kidney. But here is the opportunity for you to donate to an absolute complete stranger and change their life. And every time I see a donor patient recipient meeting, and you have the donor, and it's always the loved ones of the donor, whether it's their mother or their husband or their partner, that holds on the most to that holds on the donor, the patient's relatives that hold on the most to the donor, because they know that their person would not have been there unless it was for that selfless act of the other person. So my greatest ambition is to win the top sort of creative marketing award ever. A little bit more practically for what I can do in the next couple of years at Be the Match is I want to transform our registry and absolutely accelerate the growth of we're getting with our ethnically diverse audiences, and ensure that we are able to get numbers more on par with the population and the patients that, quite honestly, we serve. I also am dogged about transforming this experience that we have for our members, because they should feel connected and extremely valued and constantly in the loop, and know that there is so much that they can do to help change a life. In my office, I had emails that posted up from the Gap, and it was about how, Erica, you're such a valued customer. We love you. Here's some things that you could do differently. Here's a water bottle for us to show us appreciation. And I would always tell my team, I was like, if I can get that from Gap for buying some clothes for my daughter mostly, like what in the world should people be receiving from us? Because we're asking them to literally give a piece of themselves to save a life. So transforming that member experience so that it absolutely becomes best in class is also paramount.
Mm-hmm. That sounds really impressive. I'm really excited to see what Be the Match does in the next couple of years. But the one thing that has really affected all of our lives lately is the coronavirus pandemic, obviously. So another question we had for you is, how has the coronavirus pandemic affected Be the Match's ability to fundraise, educate, and recruit?
It is impacting us tremendously. So first on what it's doing for us on recruitment is we are able to drive a significant amount of recruitment from boots on the ground, or people who are out there in the communities, most particular out there on college campuses, and are making what we call those one-to-one connections, inspiring people with our mission, sharing that story, and then driving action. When we had to close down all of the campuses and then eventually all of our community events, it was devastating. We lost immediately, like overnight, 175,000 registry members that we had in the plan. But we pivoted and we had to come up with new ways. So we've changed our emphasis from being in-person drives to being social and digital, have launched new campaigns surrounding that. So we did Couch to Cure that came out shortly after the pandemic started at the end of March. We've had a new patient stories, and then we're going into new mediums and formats. So we have recently joined TikTok. We're doing some new work on YouTube. We have a new gaming partnership that's coming out. I don't know if any of you are gamers with Den of Thieves. So that launched on Monday and doing a partnership with them. And then we are looking at doing an initiative with dating apps. So we talk about people say, be the match. We're like, where are the young people? I should be asking you guys. I have some questions for you all. Where the young people are, they're on dating apps. So how can we be tongue in cheek about how we are be the match? And as people going on looking for matches, we can give them a different type of life-saving match. Oh. And then for fundraising, it was also equally hard. And I'm sure Leslie can attest for ICLA too, because we do a lot of galas in key cities around the country where people come, have a nice meal, and they give money. And us not being able to have those events has put a damper on what funds we raise. We're having now virtual events and trying that out for virtual galas and seeing if those will yield the same results. But trying to have the goosebumps of the moment in the room, because we always do a patient donor meeting, and how that will translate to the screen will be different. And then also we usually have both patients who have received transplants and donors who are mingling with people, particularly given the funds, who can tell that in-person testimony, and people feel like, oh, Erica would not be here had not somebody stepped up and helped donate to fund programs or help with patient assistance, etc. So that is a different frontier for us, and it is having a negative drag on our ability to raise dollars.
Yeah, we've definitely seen that. And I've seen a lot of different things that you talked about, like the Couch to Cure. Like we've been keeping up with all of your Instagram too. Yeah. So knowing your marketing background and all, we kind of want to know, what's your outlook on how high school students can play a part in getting involved with Be the Match?
Yeah, so this is a brand new, exciting initiative that we are launching. We're working we started with HOSA. It's like the hospital, so you get the HOSA. So we started with HOSA and we won their service award. So we're going to be their service organization for the next 2 years. And that really spurred us to developing a high school curriculum and then also a high school program. So our digital registration process is undergoing a revision. And one of the things we're looking at is how do we give people who are not quite right in the sweet spot of who we need for donors at this moment an opportunity to have an experience with us. And that includes high school. So we could do and send out curriculum, partner with teachers or other gatekeepers at the schools, partner with student organizations like yours, and then have people do pre-registry and have them go on and pre-register so that then the moment they turn 18, because they've told us their birthday, we would send them a note like, congratulations, you're legal. And among all the other things you can do, you can also register to save a life. And we're looking to implement that in early 2021. So we are excited. So I have some volunteers to test that out and be part of the focus group for that.
Oh, definitely.
Awesome.
We've already decided on our birthdays we're all signing up with you.
Yeah. Yay!
And kind of like hopping off of that, I guess one more question was, what do you think the benefits would be for like the high school students who are volunteering? Like how would it help them is what we wanted to ask you.
Absolutely. We talk about how important the mission is and being able to demonstrate your ability to not only be human and part of culture, right? So you're not only just joining organizations or participating in things to be resume fillers and make sure you have applications look good, but you're doing things that showing you care about what's happening in this world and that you're taking a stance. I think students who are joining the organization to fight against equality are saying that we're not okay with the social injustice and how it impacts so many areas of our lives and then causes us to have literally life or death different results for people based on their ethnicity. And that's not okay. So participating, being part of a movement like that, not only demonstrates to the world that you care about what's happening and what's going on, but also gives you the opportunity to build skills in terms of how do you reach out to people? How do you have conversations? How do you have tough conversations with people about inequity and its impacts on different communities' lives? And then how do you build long-lasting campaigns for change?